Do you finally feel you're getting the respect you deserve by getting to the final of Super 6?
Yeah, definitely. You know, the respect started coming when I defended my title for the third or fourth time, and my last fight was on Sky TV, which has made a big impact on the viewing audience, and people are now starting to acknowledge and realise what I've done and appreciate it, which is great.
Did you actually notice a difference to the fans' reaction when you boxed on Sky TV?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I got some great response and some positive messages after my victory against Johnson. It was great.
You mentioned that you think you'll get a fair crack of the whip if it does go to the scorecards in New Jersey. Recently there was a very controversial decision with Paul Williams. He controversially won on points. There's a bit of an investigation going on in New Jersey. That's not going to be a factor, you feel?
It could always be a factor. Whether or not it will be, I don't know. But they tend to use to do a good job. I can't recall what happened in that fight, but you know, I'm confident that they'll do the right thing. As long as the winner gets his hand raised at the end of the fight, the guy that deserves the fight, then that's all I'm interested in, because I'm going to do enough to beat Ward. So I expect to get my hand held, even if it goes to points. But there's always a danger fighting away from home. I'm fighting an American in America, and you know, there can always be problems. There's nothing you can do about it really, except for make a bit of noise before the fight. But I'm confident I'm going to get him out of there and stop him.
Do you feel after this fight you will be the undisputed middleweight champion in the world, super middleweight champion in the world, regardless of what any other organisation says?
Yeah, definitely. I'll definitely be number one in the world. You know, me and Ward are number 1 and 2 of the Ring magazine, and that's the Boxing Bible in terms of ratings. So we're the 2 best super middleweights in the world. So the winner of this fight will become the best super middleweight in the world. It's as simple as that, regardless of what anybody says.
Beyond this Super 6 final, if you could pick your next 3 fights in an ideal world, if you were the promoter, boxing politics aside, who would you fight?
I'd fight Lucian Butte, because he's the IBF champ. That's another world title belt, and that would make me the unified, undisputed champion. I'd like a rematch with Mikel Kessler, because he's got a win over me. Nothing personal with him, it's just the fact that he's got a win. I'd like to rectify that loss and you know, set the record straight in that sense. And then a fight that's not going to happen, but you never know, never say never, Joe Calzaghe. That'd be the final one.
What is it about Joe Calzaghe? Why do you want to fight so much?
Because he's undefeated. He was a brilliant super middleweight world champion, the best super middleweight on the planet. When he retired, you know, I was coming through. I just won the WBC world title. I was around, but you know, until you beat the man, you don't feel like you deserve your number 1 spot. I do at the minute because Joe Calzaghe's retired, but if he was still an active fighter now, that'd be a fight I want. But I know it's the fight that's probably not going to happen, because he's been retired for too long now, and I don't think he wants to be fighting. He wants to be chilling out and relaxing like he should be.
For the last 15-20 years, Britain has some great super middleweights. Nigel Benn, Chris Eubank, Calzaghe, well, Steve Collins from Ireland, yourself. Where would you put yourself in that mix?
I would put myself in that mix, yeah. Definitely in the mix. Where would I put myself in the mix? Just in the mix.
How would you feel a fight with yourself and Nigel Benn? It's obviously never going to happen, but that would be an absolute war. Is that somebody who would relish?
It wouldn't necessarily be a war. I could, you know, use my jab, use my long reach, and keep Nigel Benn at arm's length. But he could step in and knock me cold. I've never been knocked out in my life, but potentially it could happen. And Nigel Benn maybe could be the man to do it. But you know, fans aren't going to get to see that.
No, unfortunately. One question, I know every time I watch you box and other people watch you box, they all want to know, why do you always hold your left hand so low? Is that a tactic, or is this a habit, or is that something you use to your advantage?
That's my style, that's it, it's as simple as that. It's like a tennis player hits the ball, and how a footballer kicks the ball, he's got his technique, and how a golfer swings a golf club. My left hand's low, that's it. That's all I can say, it's just how I fight.
Has Robert McCracken ever tried to change that?
No, I've got a defence when I need a defence. You know, I pick my gloves up and block shots when I like to block them, but I'd rather dodge shots and get my shots off. You know, a high left guard, to me, is of no advantage. I've had 28 fights and knocked out 21. And if you have a look at all the 21 guys I've fought and knocked out, they all had a high left guard. They all had the guard here. So what's the point in holding your guard up if you're going to get knocked out? You know, so it's of no advantage having a high left. And all the top fighters, Sugar Ray Leonard, Roy Jones Jr., Sugar Ray Robinson, Nassim Hamid in his day, they all had low defence, so it's not an issue.
What's your prediction for the final of Super 6?
I think I'm going to stop Ward, I'm going to knock him out, or the referee's going to jump in and see enough punishment dished out. I'm predicting a stoppage win for the Cobra.
Carl Froch, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Cheers, Carl. Thank you. Cheers, mate. Good luck.